Alright geezers, I say geezers because I'm pretty sure there's no females watching these videos. Anyway, I thought I'd do a motorcycle kit video. A long overdue follow-up on my Gaerne, I don't know how to pronounce it, motorcycle boots. I said, was it 6 years ago I bought these? Yeah, it's probably 6 years. And I said I'd do a follow-up on them. Their longevity, reliability, blah blah blah. So yeah, here it is, prompted by the fact that I've ordered a new pair of boots, and the only reason I've ordered a new pair of boots is because these are the ones. There's an issue with the zipper. So if I can point it out and get a close up, right there, you can see it. The thing is that damage, or if you can call it, it's damage of some sort, but that was there when I got them brand new, and rather foolishly I thought, you know what, they zip up fine, they seem okay, it's a very very minor little blimp of, you could see there was something there. It was almost like somebody had stabbed a cigarette out on them and melted the plastic slightly of the zip teeth, but I ignored it, and it's never been a problem. They've always done up fine, they've always undone fine, and I reckon I must have at least 10,000 miles on these boots, and the zip has never been a problem. But I have began to notice that there is now a slight catch when I do them up, and I'm thinking that when they're done up, you can see how they look weird, don't they, those teeth? And it looks like there's one missing. One's actually gone adrift. There's this little space there where there's one not engaging in between the other two on the top bit. So they have started to catch slightly. I can feel it when I'm doing them up, and I'm getting nervous. I'm being very careful when I do them up, but I'm starting to feel the zipper's going to pop. And then if that happens when I'm out and about, I'll be riding around with a flappy boot. Well, it won't flap about because the Velcro tab on the top secures them, but yeah. So I decided to get a new pair of boots. Rather stupidly, I didn't research. I was impatient, so I just looked up Gaerne boots, Gaerne, and I saw the GP1 LS, and I assumed that must be their current latest and greatest racing boot. Turns out it's not. There is still the Gaerne GP1 and the Gaerne GP1 LS, which apparently stands for light speed. It's a bit optimistic, but hey ho. So I ordered the LS from FC Moto. They're on their way from Germany, I think it is, to Japan. Obviously I'm going to have to pay import tax when they get it, which is 10%, plus the cost of shipping, so it was too late to rectify my mistake. Having said that, it's not a disaster. They're cheaper, not by a great deal of money, but what they've sacrificed is some of the cosmetic detail, and that's it. And in fact, the boa system on the new ones, this is the old boa system, I think it's LP1, but the boa system on the new ones is new and improved. It's got a lower profile dial, and it's a superior mechanism. I won't make any difference at all in usage because these are perfect. I don't see how the new system is going to be any better than that. Slightly lower profile, so I've never caught the dial on these, but it does stand out a bit. If I press it in, it sticks out that far, and the new one is slightly lower profile. So the new ones, the LS, have got a better dial, boa dial mechanism, and they sacrifice some of the detail. The tops around here are just plain black on the new ones, the LS, and those zigzags on the toe area here are not present on the new ones. It's just black. There is red. I suppose I could stick a picture of the new ones in the video, but yeah, I'm replacing them just because of that slight zipper issue. How does it always end up making my cigarette in the middle of the video instead of preparing one beforehand? 'cause I'm thick. Anyway, to comment on the boots as they are, and not mentioning the zipper issue, which is something that existed on them when I got them, but otherwise would not have been there. So as I said already, I've got at least 10,000 miles on these boots, and I've done a hell of a lot of walking around in them as well. I go into Kyoto on the night out, I park the bike up, I visit my favourite bar, I try out a couple of other bars occasionally, I go to McDonald's or Burger King, which is down Telemachi, which is a bit of a walk. So I've done a fair bit of walking in them, and they're comfortable as fuck. They're comfortable on the bike. I mean, I extolled the comfort of them in the first video, but significant amount of walking around and they're fine. They're not as comfortable as the Alpine style sneakers, which is what I wear if I'm wearing just jeans on the bike. So these are like super comfortable, but these are comfortable as well. There's no issues in wearing either of them. Why do I say these are more comfortable? I don't know, they're softer, I guess they're a bit bouncy, but if I was to choose between the two for walking in, there's no way to actually choose. It's just what kind of riding I'm doing. If I'm in jeans, I don't go quite as mad. If I'm in the leathers, then I go madder, and I want the proper protection of these. But anyway, you can see maybe the wear and tear on them, which is kind of over-egging it, using those words to describe it. They've worn in, they've got marks and scuffs and, you know, over 10,000 miles, but they are in perfect condition. One issue I did come up with was the screws that hold the armour on. I think I noticed it on the back first. I was lucky, I caught one of the screws coming out, backing out. It had vibrated loose or whatever. So I undid the two screws there, undid the screws on the front, which is just the one, and I put that blue lock on it, what do they call it? Loctite. Loctited all the screws to make sure. I think I did the backs there as well. Loctited every screw so it could never become an issue again. So yeah, I was fortunate that I noticed it and they didn't back out and I lost a complete piece of armour. They got scuffs on them for some reason. I've never crashed in these, so I don't know, they've got scuffed up the back. Probably when I'm sitting on the curb and dragging my heels on the ground. But yeah, these boots are still absolutely solid. There is no detachment of the soles, any part of the bottoms. You can see how well. I had a pair of Spidis and they were stupidly expensive, you know, the top end Spidis, all armour plated and shit, and I actually wore through the material to the inside of the boot in about 2,000 miles, I guess. I hadn't worn them very much. They were shit, overpriced, uncomfortable and shit material, because these are done over 10,000 miles, and look at the wear on the bottom where they sit on the pegs. Nothing. There's just no wear. I mean, obviously they're dirty, but I cannot visibly see any actual wear, deformation. They're not messed up by the serrated surface of the pegs. I mean, that is fucking quality, that you can ride 10,000 miles on a motorcycle and not wear the footrest area at all. I haven't got the gear change one, but the gear change on the left boot is the same as it is on the right. There's no wear. They're just a bit mucky. So that's my verdict on the Gaerne boots. You can see that the surface texture there is slightly worn from walking around. But even that, I mean, I've not worn them like 10,000 miles walking. I've ridden 10,000 and done a fair bit of walking. But I'm seriously impressed by these boots, that they've actually lasted 10,000 miles without any noticeable wear and tear to speak of. They're just dirty. And even with that slightly compromised zip, which is nonetheless held, and still holds to this day, but I can see that it's going to go, it's on its way out, it's going to pop at some point. But yeah, my verdict is, if you want a top quality pair of boots and you like the style, which I happen to like the style a lot, they look technical. We all like a bit of technical gear, don't we? We like looking like a fucking pilot from a crashed UFO. the one that's just landed. I'd like the Alpine Stars. I mean, I've got a bit of an Alpine Stars thing going. I always have. I love Alpine Stars, the design and everything. They're way more expensive, their boots. I say way more. These were, well, what these cost now. I think, how much have I paid for the ELS? 50,000 yen. And these are 57,000 yen. And the Alpine Star top range R1, Supertech R1s are 71,000. So there's a difference of about 20 something thousand yen, which in Japanese wage money is 200 quid. In UK pounds, it's £100 difference. But I didn't want to take a risk with the Alpine Star size 48 that they wouldn't fit nicely. I know these fit, so I went with Gaerne again. And given that these have lasted so well, proven by me wearing them for 10,000 miles, it makes logical sense to stick with the brand. So yeah, new pair of Gaarnes coming, slightly less cosmetically technical than these ones, but with a new and improved BOA system on them. Bit plainer looking in the design of them, but they still look nice. They still got a lot of red in them. I think the badge on the front will be black on red instead of white on red. But yeah, they're coming. I'll be trying them on, and no doubt making a video to say, oh my god, what have they done? They fucked them up. They don't fit nicely anymore. I'm sure they'll be fine. I have read some reports saying they're slightly narrower, but narrower compared to Alpine Stars, not narrower compared to the GP1s. But we will see. But yeah, if I was going to recommend a pair of boots for anyone, these 10,000 miles plus, and absolutely 100% still solid. Most impressively, that the foot pegs have not worn any kind of damage to the soles. I mean, that is, I don't know what that fuck that's made out of, that it's managed to survive serrated foot peg surfaces. I'm seriously impressed with that. But absolutely mega pucker boots, top end boots for your motorcycle hooning. You heard it here, probably for the 10th, 20th time maybe, I don't know. But yeah, thank you for watching and listening. Hope you found it interesting and informative, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!